back to the DS Chronicles, a Demon Slayer podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ronny.
I'm Chaz.
Chaz is putting up some very sleepy vibes tonight.
I am not.
And by tonight, I mean 4 p.m. on a Saturday. Why has he yawned 10 times in the last 5 minutes?
2.
I don't know, but we are covering Demon Slayer. This episode's called Temari Demon and Arrow Demon. It's Season 1, Episode 9. Chaz, what did you think of the episode, if you can tell me without falling asleep?
Loved it.
Did you?
I actually did like this episode.
Yeah.
There's some intriguing battle tactics going on here.
There are a lot of new battle tactics that are put onto the scene. Very action heavy. It was hard to take notes on because I was like, am I writing a novel? No. I'm just taking notes to podcast on, so I can't just sit here and write out every single movement.
Mm-hmm.
We all saw it. What we do is we dissect and chit and chat about it.
Yeah.
Okay? So we'll see how it goes.
So yeah, Temari, that's in the name. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know what's in my note right here?
Temari.
Chad, what is the definition of a Temari ball?
Temari balls. Okay. Temari balls are from the 7th century AD. Okay. They were created back then.
Really?
Way back then.
The 7th century AD?
That is when these balls originated. And they were originally used for young girls. They were used as
it's a girl ball.
It's a girl ball. That's why we see a girl using them here.
Right.
It's ancient in China. It spread to Japan where they started using it there.
Okay.
But yeah, they used it in like young girl games. I guess it was just like kind of like a bar mitzvah. No, what? Not a bar mitzvah. What's that thing? Quinceañera.
Okay.
Kind of like a quinceañera.
You do realize that the mitzvahs are the same exact thing as a quinceañera, essentially.
A bar mitzvah?
Well, there's bar and bat. One's for dudes, one's for girls. And it's the coming of age for a Jewish person, whereas a quinceañera is the coming of age of a Mexican girl.
Okay, so back then there was Temarietzas, okay?
Okay.
Coming of age of a young girl, she would show off her skills with the Temari balls.
Really?
Yeah.
So she would like do some sick
they'd play against each other.
Dribbling.
So if you like both turn 15, it's like, okay, you Temari ball.
Was it a kicking game? Was it more of a handball game?
It was incorporated both.
Okay. So anything went.
Yep.
Okay.
And I didn't get much of the rules. I didn't get the rule book behind it. So.
All right. So you basically, what you're telling me, last episode you said, "Oh, I've got something on the Temari balls." We're going to talk about it more next episode. And
you can create your own Temari balls, Ronnie. You can.
Don't knock me off my line of questioning by just more half-ass facts about the Temari balls. Okay, I didn't ask you yet if I could make one. What I'm saying is, you realize there was a game. You didn't look up the rules of the game. You're just like, there is a game. Is that what I'm being told?
Yes. Okay. I didn't want to look up the actual rules because I didn't think you'd care that much, but now I'm going to. And I'll talk a little bit about the balls right now. Yarn and threaded balls. Okay, it's just yarn. They use yarn needles. They thread it. Keep going, keep going. You can actually make it as big as you want. If you want this ball to be as big as that fat head of yours over there, or as small as your hand over there, you can do either one. Okay.
All right.
And it is of Chinese origin.
So is there a coating that's put on the outside of the ball? Because, why did this ball pack such a punch if it's yarn?
That's what I'm saying. This demon uses, a blood art technique to make this thing just...
Pack a punch. Well, then how did it bounce, too?
That's what I'm saying when there's, metal inside it.
And what is up with that?
So...
Because so far all you told me was it's just yarn rolled up in a ball. So where is the metal thing that you keep referring to? All right.
Well, I think they leave the needle inside it. A couple needles.
Okay.
Like in the inside center. That's where it gets
so
a little...
then it could not be as small as my hands. You were lying about that part. Because there would need to be needles inside of it.
Right, yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
Could not be as small as your hands. I did lie about that.
Okay.
It's hard for anything to be that small, but yeah, have you never if you do yarn tight enough, you can bounce that. Like, I don't know if you've ever...
I can't say that I've wound yarn pretty tight. Every time I've wound yarn, it's been pretty loose.
Like, when I say tight, I'm meaning, like, this shit is tight, bro. Like, look at this ball right here.
Holy shit, that is tight.
Yeah. So it does bounce. If you tighten anything up enough, it'll bounce. So.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, the rules, I'm not getting much on the rules. I think Temari Ball rule book.
And the idea that they never played some kickball is just, I would not believe you if you were trying to tell me that.
Okay, so technically...
Yeah. Go ahead.
Technically, the Temari Ball original game, it was just the ball was hidden in an area, and you had to go find the ball.
All right. Pretty fucking terrible game. Wish they would have used some imagination. Did not seem that unique.
Well, 7th century AD, they didn't have a lot of imagination.
Travis and I have came up with way better games than that when we're just sitting around. All right. Did you get what you were looking for in your nose?
Yes, I did.
Okay. With that being said, would you like
my notes or nose?
Would you like to get into the episode?
Let's get into it.
Fantastic. So we going back in with the kickballs of death. That's what I called them initially because I did not realize I was not cultured in the Temari balls. Now I know. And it's destroying this lovely home. Now, I do realize we just spent a long time researching things. But she's decided to kill them vindictively. Chad,
Yep.
What is the definition of vindictive? Do you know?
Forceful, dreadful, impactful.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that it?
Works for me. I do think that she wants to kill them forcefully.
Chaz, look that up. Vindictively.
And you say...
Having or showing a strong or unreasoning desire for revenge. So, yeah.
All right. So a building appears out of nowhere to try and hide. We already know that Karen Cut, I've got his name in here somewhere, I'll get to it eventually, is he can conceal stuff. He's got concealment magic. That's what this is. The two Temari Ball and Arrow Man also wearing socks and flip-flops.
Yeah, I mean...
Think about all the poor cobblers going out of business.
Yeah, that, and we'll think about their poor, like, inner phalange toes, how those feel. Constantly, like a rope.
Rubbing up, you're talking about in between the big toe and the...
Yeah, constantly.
Well, that's, I think, why they wear socks, to try and alleviate some of that.
It does, but it doesn't do that much, you know?
You big sock flip-flop guy? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this guy's necklace, Arrow Man, it's just ridiculous. What is this necklace? It's never answered. I don't know why he has the size of baseballs in necklace form around his neck.
You didn't like it?
I did not like it.
Okay.
How did you feel about it?
I didn't think it looked terrible. Okay. If you're blind, you can do this type of thing.
And he's not happy about having his kimono splattered. So is he blind?
He's got eyes in his hands, Ronnie.
Yeah, but I'm not sure this guy's blind.
Dude, you don't know if someone's
and also,
blind
also,
or not
also,
blind.
also, if he has eyes in his hands, then he's not blind.
He's blind in his normal eyes. Ronnie, who are the audience? Who are they going to trust? Me, the guy that's 3 for 3 and calling out blind people, or the guy that's never gotten one right?
It doesn't mean that I won't continue to fight for who I think's blind and who's not. The definition of blind is not, not being able to see in the eyes.
Like,
it's inability to see sight.
The inability to see sight, you're like, but these people, they're so spiritual. They can see the spirituality floating in the air.
Yeah, she can.
They're so mindful. Like, in that case, then no one's blind.
You, of course, are talking about Tamayo, and yes, that is how I feel.
In that case, no one's blind. You could stab my eyes out, and I'm such a spiritual man.
Some people aren't as connected to the spiritual world as she is.
Like, he still has his third eye.
You're the guy that's like, they're blind, except for that, they can see, but they're blind.
He still has his pineal gland in his brain. They call it the third eye, so he's not technically blind.
Just walk around and talk. Think about how many handicap spots this guy's taking advantage of because people like you call him blind when all he's doing is giving high fives and he's seeing the world around him. It's just
so you're saying he's not
utterly
blind.
Ridiculous.
He's not blind. He's just moved his eyes. Is what you're saying?
Well, I don't know if he's moved them or if they just went there, but like. No, he's not. If you can see, you're not blind.
He's not blind. He's just giving his eyes a rest for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Look up the definition of blind.
Chaz, look that up. I'm on it.
See what comes up.
Blind, unable to see because of injury, disease, or congenital condition.
So,
lacking
in it,
perception, awareness, or discernment.
Where does it say anywhere in there? The eyes. Nowhere.
She was blind to the realities of her position.
Yeah, nowhere. So, not blind because he can see with his hands.
So, if you get splashed, if you have stuff splashed on your shirt and you know it just splashed on your shirt because you felt it, you're not blind.
First of all, don't start with that. You've seen the kind of thick wardrobes this show promotes. There's no way he felt the splashing.
Okay. Well, I'll give you one there. You're now 1 for 5 on blind people.
I don't know where the 4 went. There was. Anyway, moving on. I was correct. Oh fuck! One of these balls straight up takes Yoshi's head off. That was when I forgot.
Yoshi, that's his name.
That's not his name. I've got his name here later. The Yoshi was a joke because I had momentarily forgot that he was. I took the notes on last episode a couple days beforehand. So this was a really big moment for me when I initially saw it. I was like, oh shit, Karen Cut's just dead. Forgetting that he was a demon. He was just going to grow it back because they didn't follow the demon killing rules.
Yep.
So I was making a joke of like, oh, I don't have to know that guy's name. I'm just going to call him Yoshi because it does start with a Y.
Which is my favorite
Mario character?
It's my favorite character to use in Super Smash Bros.
Really?
Yeah. Yoshi.
Super Smash Bros. Yeah. I've played you. You love gobbling people up and egging them out the ass.
Yep.
So, Tanji says her scent is stronger than most demons, referring to the Temari demon. Mm-hmm. It's like, so I thought of like a girl who wears too much perfume. You know those?
Oh, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
We work with a couple of those.
Yeah, you walk by and you're like, whoa.
Whoa. If I was blind, I'd still be able to see you.
If you were a girl and you put on perfume, walk me through your method.
Squirt, squirt, right on my... I squirt, 2 simple squirts on my left shoulder, right shoulder.
The shoulders.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
But some people do a spray, not a squirt. You know what I mean by that?
Well, yeah.
That's when you hold it down longer than 3 seconds.
Right. You have perfume being like an aerosol can.
Yep.
Okay. So they call out Tanji for his earrings, making it seem like he is the whole reason they are here. And she sends another ball his way, but watch out. Total control breathing, 7th form, drop, ripple, thrust, curve.
Yeah. Watch out.
So many words.
We've known about this guy.
We gotta break this one down, all right? So drop. It's a water breathing control, so I'm thinking of a water drop. Ripple, which is like when a drop hits the water, right? It ripples.
Ripples the current.
But then the thrust curve, what are you thinking there? What?
Does he thrust his body?
Is he thrusting the ripple into a curve and that's like the weapon?
I guess.
Okay. All right. I'll have to go back and watch the episode where he mastered that one to refresh my memory.
That was episode 3, I think.
So the ball gets loose. Something's weird is going on with these balls. Because
one, they're made of yarn. There's no way that they're going 150 miles per hour taking people's heads off.
Yeah. And out of total disrespect, they show us Yushiro's death in even slower motion than last time.
Yeah.
They just...
K-cut.
And by his death, of course, I mean his head exploding like a grape. It was... This was violent. But Lady Tamayo is consoling his headless corpse. Not for long. The lad's head starts to grow back, and this animation was cool.
It was very cool, and it was creepy as hell when just his tongue was sticking out of like his mouth, but there was no upper mouth, so you just saw his tongue grow back.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Strange.
And then it just stops like halfway up the head, and then you have like the blood vessels like wiggling around. Mm-hmm. She was taking her sweet ass time with the second half of that head. Quick summary of what his mouth has to say.
Okay.
He is not a Tanji and Nezuko fan.
Yep, which we could tell by the way he was acting.
Like,
he's got the Karen cut.
They're still in immediate danger. His head just got blown off, and he's still like, I'm just not sure that we should be aligned with those two.
Yeah.
And I like this name. Temari Demon, she reveals that she is one of the 12 demon moons. So there's 12. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I would assume there's 12.
Well, yeah, she says there's 12 of them, so you don't want to spoil anything, but you're thinking there's 12 of them.
Well, it's just like, maybe something happened to a few of them, and their full team usually is 12, but they're kind of in an in-between period right now.
A few of them died, so now they only have 8 or something.
They're in like a hiring process.
Okay. Oh, I like the hiring process of it.
Thank you.
That.
I mean, if Muzan's in charge, you don't think he's going to do some background checks?
That is true. And then, like, he just samples them out.
Right.
He just, here, you did good, my young one. Take some of my seed, and gives him his blood.
Oh, that's true, right? He probably... So then, yeah. You think he, like... Someone will prove themselves, and then he's like, okay, you're already pretty good, but now I'm going to give you a little bit of my blood on top of that.
You think he almost has to, because these people seemed like they've kind of proved themselves, at least, to be able to, like, bow before him, because he doesn't really give a fuck about anybody else.
He's like, oh, pretty cool balls.
Yeah. I like to think that they're not even that strong. He just likes the way that she throws her balls around.
Because I got some hot takes about Temari Ball Girl here in a second. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but just watch out for it. But the fact there's 10 other guys or 10 other people that are like this strong, that's, whoa. They serve directly under Muzan. She grows another 4 arms to handle more balls. Things are looking pretty bad. Yushiro and Tamayo would not make my dodgeball team. They get hit again, taking off parts of their skull. I'm also worried because in my notes, there's not an O at the end of her name. It's an A every time.
Who?
Tamayo. Is it an O?
I don't know, man. I might have accidentally put, like, tomato. I think it corrected me to tomato, and that's why I said Tamayo.
So, with the confidence from someone who's seen the entire series up to this point like that, and someone who's yawned 8 times over the past 5 minutes at 4:15 p.m. on a Saturday, I will start referring to her as Tamaya. I could be wrong too, but at this particular moment, I'm feeling a little bit more confident than the guy who just went, I don't know, man. Glad you're having a good time. Tanji's doing a pretty solid job, but we aren't going to win this thing at this rate. Yushiro lends Tanji his sight, which just so happens to be like a magical sticky note.
That was pretty cool. He stuck his eyesight gave him foresight. Did you like how it went to his forehead? Went directly to his foresight, his forehead.
Yeah.
Hitting the third eye, his pineal gland, which allowed him to then view stuff that's there that he can't see himself. I like what they did here.
It's layers.
It's very layered. It's very deep, intellectual.
How do you think he got that to stay on?
He just licked it.
Okay. All right. You thought of everything. But now we're talking. He can now see arrows displaying the path of the Temari balls, which is hilarious, I thought, because I don't see how this helps at all.
Wait, what do you mean how this helps?
How does him being able to see the arrows and then how we see the arrows actually move, how is it helping him at all?
Because the arrows are showing where the ball's about to go.
But,
Because he doesn't know which way the ball's going to go unless the arrow's
not
pointing.
really, because the arrows are like, first of all, 1.5 feet in front of the balls.
Yes, it's
And
displaying where it's going.
The arrows just move like the ball does. It's not helping.
It gives him a foot advantage. Like you said, 1.5 feet. That's all he needs.
I guess, yeah. I guess it's a little bit of it helps a little bit, sure. But I was like, oh, not as big of a cheat code as I thought it was going to be.
Well, I guess that's why. What's his name that had the foresight of it got his head lopped off.
Yeah. Twice.
yeah.
All right. I guess if you think of it like, oh, I gotta dodge the arrows, even if you don't dodge the arrow, if you still get out of the way in time for the ball, it helps a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Foot advantage.
So Nezuko comes up to help, which is bittersweet because she's badass, but I'm scared for her. She's the one that we have to protect at all costs in this show. Really? There's one in every show. Did you say really?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't agree?
I do. I mean, I guess I do. I was just like, there's not anybody else that you want to protect?
I'm saying
we're only 8 episodes in, and you're just
I'm saying
you're gonna
like,
make that bold statement.
Well, it's just like you get one. You can protect one person at all costs.
Okay, yeah, Nezuko.
Is it not Nezuko? Yeah. What are you trying to do?
I just like you made that decision so fast. It's like this. I mean, what if like we get 2 episodes in and you're like, oh, this person's better. You know?
Well, then I'll change my mind. But at this point, at this particular time when there's Temari balls flying through the air, she's the one we got to protect.
Yeah, you're right.
Good Lord.
I wouldn't want to protect K-Cut.
You're acting like these things buzzing around. You're like, well, let's see who shows up in 2 days. I don't want to... She finds Arrow Man in the trees, making these balls a little more easy to deal with. And this right here... Because I almost made a note, like, where the fuck is Arrow Guy? It makes sense that he's the one, like, controlling these. So then, if that's the case, what the fuck do I need Temari Ball Girl for? Like, I understand she's producing the balls, but then she's doing fucking nothing.
Well, but I feel like she's the one that's getting the force with the balls. Like, if he was just controlling them, they would just hit them like yarn balls.
See, you say that. But think about how when the arrow gets a hold of Tanji here in a bit, how quickly he's moving around. Do you think of that?
Yeah, it is weird though, because then it's like he doesn't... It's almost like she has to throw them, but then why does she have to throw them? But is she creating them that hard, like to where they actually have impact? Like, because if they were just yarn balls going really fast, it's not like that's going to lop your head off.
So...
I don't know.
That's fine, but I'm just saying she's too cocky, and I think I'm hoping she's number 12 of the 12 demon moons.
Like the lowest you can
Because
get.
Really, in reality, what does she do?
What if 12 is the strongest, though?
Well, then I would want her to be 1. If it's a totem, if it is a totem pole situation, I do want her to be 1.
Okay.
Yeah, she grows an extra 4 arms, and she can make a Temari ball that's the strength of a bowling ball that she can't even, like, she can throw a little bit, but then the arrow guy has to take over.
Is Muzan the number 1, or is he his own thing?
Well, how's the scale? Like,
is he 1 or 12, or is he his own thing?
Oh, no. He's not one of the 12.
Okay.
I don't think. Good question. I see what you're saying. That, like, is he a moon?
Yeah, is he a moon, or is he just...
He's a galaxy.
Yeah, he's the galaxy.
Yeah, he's a galaxy. So Tanji starts to get a little bit more of a better grasp on this stuff now that Nezuko's fighting Arrow Man. He uses third form, which of course is Chad after you finish that yawn. What is it? Third form?
His third form or his 7th?
No, it's third.
His third form is the water wheel.
No, it's the flowing dance, you fool.
Damn it.
Study your forms.
Nezuko, the kick that she delivers to the guy in the tree, the Arrow Man, is just so sick. Anytime she throws a kick, it just gets me going. Like, it's...
I also love the term throwing a kick. Because you can't really throw a kick, but you can.
But yeah, the way she does it, you almost have to say throw.
So Tanji, he cuts off Temari Ball's arms as Tanji asks Tamayo if these two jerks have a close relationship with Muzan. She says, probably. And that just gets Tanji steaming.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the calling card. We flash back to last episode where Tamayo was making her 2 requests. Which, did you really say? God, your notes were bad. Did you say the 2 requests in your notes?
No.
And why not? Why did you not say those in your notes last episode?
It wasn't in the last episode. This is a flashback.
Yes, it was.
No, I really promise it wasn't. This is a flashback. We didn't know about these 2 until this episode.
You're saying that she didn't say she needed some of Nezuko's blood, and she wanted him to find blood of others in last episode.
That's why they show this flashback right here. Because it's not...
Because shows... Animes, you're right. Animes never show flashbacks we've already seen.
Think about the last show we covered, how many flashbacks to certain points that were never shown originally, though.
No, you're right.
So you think it actually was in the last episode? Because I'm like 99% sure it wasn't.
And I think I'm 99% sure it was, too.
Really?
What we have here is a good old-fashioned duel on our hands.
Deal. No, she didn't. The only thing she said was that she couldn't help her yet. And while they were talking and stuff, it never gave the 2 requests. So,
all right.
If anybody wants to fact check me and prove that I'm right, go for it.
Comment to us, ladies and lads. So,
Ladettes.
Yushiro suggests that that him and Lady Tamayo use this as a decoy to escape. And she is so insulted that she turns into a black and white ghost. So anime. She was just couldn't believe.
I like this right here. So now, do you like this lady?
Yeah, she's true. She's true blue. She's she's fighting with these guys, and I like that.
Well, did you say the 2 requests? Now you made such a stink about it. Did you label?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. She needs some of Nezuko's blood.
Yep.
And then she wants Tanji to get other demons' blood.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was in the last episode. I've known about this for a while. It's at this point in the episode I'm getting real tired of this bitch's laugh. Because the situation just is not that funny.
Yeah. No, she's got an annoying laugh.
Yeah, thank you. Because she's the type of girl that I thought you were going to be all about.
No.
So I'm glad to hear you say that.
If she didn't have that type of laugh, it was more of a giggle, I would be about it.
Okay. It's too, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's too, aggressive.
Forced,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
She regrows her arms as Nezuko is thrown back into the scene by Arrow Man.
She's got a lot of arms.
She does. Yushiro says that if Tanji takes out Arrow, the other 3 will worry about Temari.
What is this, Machamp? Isn't that the guy?
Ah, nice! Yeah. Yep.
I think she even has another set of arms.
Yeah, I think Machamp only ever gets to 4. Nezuko looks at her 2 teammates' direction and envisions them as little kids. Are these supposed to be her dead siblings?
Yep.
Is that what that was going on? It was just in the first episode, so I didn't memorize them, but that's what's going on here?
That's what's going on here. She's kind of that little spell that he put under her.
Yes,
she's kind of thinking back to her own siblings. And
Well, wait. The spell shouldn't work on them.
It shouldn't, but they're treating.
Yeah, you're right. It is a plot hole. Should not work on them.
I think the way that they're treating her is like a human would treat.
Okay,
and that's why.
No, I actually like the way you explained that. That's good work by you. Okay. Arrowman grabs a hold of Tanji, moving him all over the place at great speeds. He lets him go high in the air, and to protect from the fall, we get the 3rd form of this episode. He is burning through these forms. He applies the 8th one, Waterfall Basin.
Waterfall.
How is that pronounced, you think?
Say it one more time.
Basin or Basin? Basin. I think it's Basin.
Ronny.
Don't Ronny while you don't plant your feet.
It is basin. I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, thank you for.
Let's see here.
Planting your flag.
Let's practice
On it.
You can practice your own.
Basin.
All right. Go with your gut, Ronnie. You're fucking great at this. Nezuko, she's doing some sick flips to dodge balls. How about this little montage we got? I mean, even Tanji wasn't dodging them like this.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what the Temari game should have been like in the 7th century.
It should have been dodgeball.
It should have been like a dodgeball, like incorporated with kickball or something. Like they could make a cool game out of this.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Instead of being like hide and seek with a ball that took 3 days to make.
Yeah.
They could have used any other item. It's just pointless. Yushiro becomes momentarily invisible. Another new move.
Yep.
That, I mean,
I guess
in
it's
a way,
under concealment.
yeah,
but
I guess you can conceal by being invisible. That's interesting. But then it's like, why would you not just make the home that you guys were in invisible, and then y'all would be invisible inside of it? You think that's how it would work, or would we still be able to see Tanji and them?
Well, he says something along the lines of, and I believe it was earlier, that was like, I can conceal maybe like the appearance, but the scent of them is still there.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Good call. Arrow Man realizes that the woman here is Tamayo the Fugitive. Or, God, now I'm doing it. It might be Tamayo.
I think it is Tamaya.
Okay.
Chaz Shart, again.
He should have been more confident then instead of going, I don't know, man.
Well, it said tomato on mine because it auto-corrected, so.
Okay. Tamayo the Fugitive. And in the worst part of the episode so far, Nezuko loses a leg.
She does. They told her, don't kick the ball, you idiot.
But she was like, I'm not going to go find this ball. I'm playing the game the way it should be played.
It should be played, correct. And then this is what I said about the 7th century stuff. They should have played it like this. Maybe they shouldn't have. And this is what happens if you do it.
It was like, they do look pretty solidly packed. So maybe if you're kicking it, you might as well be kicking a bowling ball. And that's why they were like, let's just find it.
You know, I was watching something the other day, speaking of bowling balls.
Tell me about it.
It said that a grizzly bear has a bite force that could crush a bowling ball in one bite.
Ooh.
That is so absurdly stupid that you don't have a chance if you're fighting one of those things.
That's insane. Because how do they test that? I understand that you could probably like test the force of the grizzly, and then you could apply force using a machine and doing it that way. But I don't think that if you gave like a chunk of bowling ball to a grizzly bear, they could like. Are their teeth that strong?
Well, their teeth are definitely way stronger than ours, but
right.
I would imagine that it would probably crack their teeth, but they could still do it if they really wanted to.
Okay.
It's one of those, it's not like they're just going to be like, oh, a bowling ball and do it. But,
right.
I mean, dude, that's just insane. But like your skull, if they really wanted to, if you're fighting them, I would imagine that they'll just do that to your skull.
Yeah.
So
I also, like, how big do you think a grizzly's mouth is?
I bet it's wide enough to fit a bowling ball in there.
You think?
Just
because that's like when they're just so big. I don't have any reference.
1,300 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, some bowling balls weigh like 14
9
pounds.
feet tall.
So if you start thinking about 1,300 pounds, and
yeah,
maybe they could, dude. Maybe they could. She's not healing it quickly because she isn't strong enough. Thank God Tamaya had an injection of leg juice stashed away in her kimono for just this occasion.
LJ.
She's like, oh, I got some LJ right here. Let me dab you up real quick. And Tanji stands across from Arrow Man, realizing he is the smallest of windows to win this fight with opening thread.
So yeah, what I like about this lady is which I'm going to take up for her. You said earlier she hasn't done anything. She's created leg juice for demons to heal from. So she has done
I said that last episode, and now I'm with her.
Okay.
Okay. It is Tamayo.
All right. I was right this entire time. You're welcome.
Good work by you. How about how the A looks so much like an O, you know? It's just that little tail, and if you wake up and take notes, you might miss it. It. So he can't slash the arrows. Turns out they're sticky arrows. If you try and slice and dice them, you're going on a roller coaster ride.
It's pretty cool.
When you watched him do that, were you like, did your inner ear freak out?
Oh yeah, I didn't watch this scene. I just had somebody tell me about it.
Okay.
I had my sister watch it, and I was like, "What happened?"
You were like, describe it for me so I can put it in my notes. Arrowman calls Tanji a damn monkey, which I thought was officially crossing the line.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Well, that was kind of wrong.
Because he spins out of the arrow. He does like a cool backflip, spins out of it. He's like, "Oh, you damn monkey."
I thought like the whole time that
I guess what he is saying here is he climbed the tree like a monkey and did like a little flip and trick.
Yeah.
So he did technically do something cool like a monkey would.
No, he would.
Yeah.
But someone needs to tell him to be careful.
Yeah, that is true.
This is all I'm saying. Tanji loses his jacket, which is like a big moment. We haven't really seen that yet.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of like this.
He looks
outfit,
cool under
right?
it, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's so determined, he puts together like 7 forms helping him on his way to cutting this dick's head off.
This guy, he drew the line when the jacket...
nice, because he's got arrows.
Yeah. The jacket comes off, that's as far as you're getting. Okay.
Okay. And that was a weird time to end the episode, I thought.
Yeah. It was like right when he slashes his neck.
But I kind of appreciate it. Like, I'm like, okay, that guy's dead, or should be dead. I don't know. I mean, if I understand the demon rules like I do, using the sword, if you behead him, he's donezo. And if that's the case, like, maybe we'll see something next episode, but I am not worried about Temari Girl at all.
You think if Arrow Guy's gone that she's done for?
Yeah. Unless she's got something that she's been hiding this whole time. But, like, now that he's gone, she's got some balls that can't be moved, like, in any direction. I think she can only throw them with one flight path.
Straight line.
Yeah.
And they could dodge those all day.
Exactly. And then she's got some arms. So, 4v1, I think we got her. But no, I mean, that was a good episode. Probably the most action-packed yet.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of just the entire thing.
And this Demon Slayer is pretty much known for like just how good its animation is, but I mean you can just tell every episode how fluid it just looks so cool. Mm-hmm. Everything looks so damn cool.
Because even like seeing the arrows, and that was cool too. I like that little staple. We didn't talk about that much, but
and every time Nezuko does a kick, it's like they use all their budget on it. It just looks so
yeah. The water control moves, it's the thing I laugh about most just because of how much it was kind of just explained away. Like, when we saw Tanji practicing most of the time, he was doing, like, physical stuff and sniffing things and dodging, like, trees falling at him. And now he just has mastered these 11 water moves that I still don't know why it's water.
Which is just imagery, I feel like, right?
Right.
We're to imagine this is just imagery and that really is just techniques.
Maybe.
Techniques.
But then he's seeing literal red arrows with this magic sticky note. So I really don't know anymore. It might be a case where he doesn't see it, but like demons
can actually
see the water.
Okay, I like that.
But those are always look super cool.
Yeah, they do.
All right, but I think that's pretty much it. You can email us at thepodcastchronicles@gmail.com.
Give us a thumbs up on YouTube's. We need it. And a subscription.
Twitter @podcastchronic.
We're close to 300.
Oh my God, we are knocking on the door. We got some just fantastic tweets. I've been Ronny.
I've been Chazzy.
Peace.
Peace.